I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Have you ever had any group leadership experience?
I had an ant farm once.
How'd you like to be a counselor?
It's the one, the only Ernest P. Worrell. It's Ernest Unleashed, Unwound, Unbelievable, in the movie everyone's running to see.
No, not me.
Oh, yeah, you.
Ernest Goes to Camp, rated PG.
Know what I mean?
Starts Friday, May 22nd at a theater near you. Check newspapers.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is a Patreon review, this time from Matt Sands, and it is for Ernest Goes to Camp. Now, first off, thank you to everyone who's joined me either on my Patreon or sent requests via PayPal. If you're ever interested in requesting any type of video reviews, re-reviews, you can either do so directly via my PayPal or join me on my Patreon. The links will be down in the info box. If not, no worries. But like I said, the review you wanted was Ernest Goes to Camp, and which was cool because I've been wanting to rewatch the Ernest films for a while. And watching this again, I didn't grow up with this one, but it does make me to want to revisit all the Ernest films. Maybe one day I will. But I love and miss Jim Varney. I grew up with the man's movies. The ones I grew up with more was Ernest Saves Christmas, Ernest Steers Stupid, Ernest Goes to Jail, and actually Ernest Rise Again I really like. I would say it'd be Ernest Steered Stupid. Then actually Ernest Rise Again I rather enjoy than Ernest Saves Christmas. I don't mind Ernest Goes to Jail, but I never loved it as much as other people. I don't know why. I just the whole two Jim Varneys. I just for some reason wasn't the most into that, but I still like the film. This one though, a lot of people grew up with this. I never did. I never saw this when I was a kid. I saw it much later in life when I picked up the Ernest films on DVD. Sadly, not much for special features. But yeah, Jim Varney's Ernest P. Worrell, for those that don't know, he was a pitchman who did a lot of commercials. You can find him on YouTube. Yes, he did commercials for Mellow Yellow, which is a nice plus. But did tons of commercials for various products. It was very entertaining. And got so popular that one thing led to another. They said, hey, let's see if he would do well with a movie. Got a deal. They gave him a couple movies. There was this film, then you had Ernest Saves Christmas, Go to Jail, and Steer Stupid. Then apparently Steer Stupid did not do as well as the studio hoped for. So they kind of said, nope, no more on the deal. And then that's why Ernest Rise Again. I'm not sure that went in the theaters. If it did, not much. For some reason, I don't remember that going to theaters. For some reason, I want to think that went straight to video. I could be wrong on that. And then after that, he did films I wasn't really a fan. I don't like Slam Dunk Ernest. Ernest Goes to School, I remember being pretty disappointing, even as a kid, because I liked all the other ones I had seen. When he got to Ernest in the Army and Ernest Goes to Africa, the budget limitations, they were really showing. I mean, Jim Varney, God bless him, he was still putting his heart in. And I think I actually still watch all of them for Jim Varney. I never thought he sleptwalked through the role of Ernest, because people are like, well, why do you like the Ernest character? I thought Jim Varney just brought such a lovable energy to it. With the way he was a rubber face before Jim Carrey would do it, to bigger box office success. I loved his monologues Ernest would do about certain important parts of whatever the hell he was doing. He was always doing these monologues. For the character to make him sound smarter than he is. I loved his laugh. There's a rumor, I don't know if it's true, but there's a rumor that, in particular, Ernest Steers Stupid, when he hits the troll and he does that look, I can't even do that. That apparently that became the troll meme. Remember that face that you see, the la 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 la. People say that's from Ernest P. Worrell. I call bullshit on that, but that's the rumor. That's the rumor, is that the famous troll face is inspired by Ernest and the Steered Stupid. Because he hit a troll and then he made a face that looks like that thing, that meme. I don't know. I mean, it's just a rumor, so I thought it was a funny rumor. But yeah, Jim Varney just had a very likable, lovable energy. Yeah, it involved slapstick in the vein of Three Stooges, but the rubber face that a Jim Carrey would have. And whether the movie was better or lesser quality, I always thought he was the shining point. I mean, his character's name's in the title, so it makes sense. And into this film, I do like the film. I don't like it as much as Steered Stupid or Saves Christmas or Ernest Lives Again, but I did like it. It's funny, it's a summer camp movie. They don't really make summer camp films anymore. Whether it be horror slasher films, whether it be comedies. I asked a friend of mine one time, he said, well, years ago there was the Wet Hot American Summer, which I never saw. But I mean, back in the day, there was a lot more of summer camp films. You know, there was Meatballs and its sequels. There was, well, it wasn't, in a way it was, but it wasn't Up the Creek. There was movies like, I'm talking about just comedies, you know, Camp Nowhere, and in a way Heavyweights was that. And yeah, there was a lot of like summer camp comedies. You never see anything of that anymore. Maybe because kids don't go to summer camp. They're like, fuck it. They just stay at home, stream online to YouTube or something. Maybe that's why. Just an observation I had. Just I try to think, like, what was the last summer camp movie to come out? Maybe it was, what did you see? Good Guy Fabio. He mentioned Wet Hot American Summer or something. Sorry about that. I'm dealing with allergies. But I didn't grow up with this film like I did with the others. I still have fun with it because of Jim Varney. I mean, he plays a maintenance guy at a camp named Camp Titty, and he hopes to become a camp counselor one day. And Jim Varney is great. I mean, technically, I think there's a previous film that he did. It wasn't an Ernest film, but it was some other character, and Ernest made an appearance. But I call this the first Ernest movie. And Jim Varney was trying, man. I mean, whether he's afraid of needles, is that your smallest needle? To he's driving these delinquents on a bus, and they have his eyes on him, and he keeps guessing and guessing, even though he should be looking at the road. Or these two guys try to feed him food. He's like, nah, I can't eat on an empty stomach. Because the plot of the film is, of course, Ernest wants to be a camp counselor, but he screws up a lot. These misfits, these delinquents are put in there, and Ernest's supposed to watch them. And the delinquents, they're all right. They have names like Butch, Too Cool, Vargas. I know one of them would actually be in the Hills of Ice Part 2 from 2007. I think he was a guy that would sort of the hothead guy who accidentally gets himself fucking blown up in the third act. Oh, fuck! Like that guy. I believe he's one of these kids in this. And the kids did fine. I can't really say anything memorable about the kids, but they were what they were. John Vernon, who's the bad guy in... he's the bad guy in this, but... well, yeah, he was in Savage Streets, where he says the line, "Go fucking iceberg." He was in Kilograms from Outer Space as the asshole cop. John Vernon's been in a lot of stuff. Oh, I was thinking of you find out he was the bad guy in "I'm Gonna Get You Sucker," because he was at the very end of that. John Vernon's heading some mining operation. He wants to take over the camp. People won't sign, but he lies to Ernest, and then Ernest is gullible. He's a very nice guy. Gets the person to sign it, and then he realizes he screwed up, and then him and the delinquents team up to face off against the mining team to save their camp. And while part of me wants to say that the other characters are all right at best, or so-so. Even the two guys, which I forget the characters' names, but there's the big guy, and then there was a skinny guy named Bobby, but he's not in this one. It's another guy. I guess they realized that guy didn't work out because they changed it. And we get to Saves Christmas and some of the others. Like, those two work better. I should have the names on here. I forget the actors' names. But the two guys in this who are cooks, the one guy, he just didn't work for me. But the other guy who would be in the other Ernest films, he did a good job. I know his last name is Sartain. Well, I say I know. I'm guessing it's Sartain. Yeah, Gaylord Sartain. And there'd be another guy who played the character Bobby in the next one. And let me just look that up real quick. It started Saves Christmas. Yeah, Bill Burge as Bobby. Actually, Gaylord Sartain, to be honest, he played a different character, because in this one he's Jake, and another one is a different name. Yeah, sorry, now I'm just trying to read up on it. It's too bad there's no making of special features, because obviously they made some money. Otherwise they would not have kept making them. But that doesn't matter to the studios, apparently. I mean, I know I'm not supposed to be a fan of these films because they're beneath me. How could I like a film like Ernest? If you like Ernest, you're stupid. You are dumb. Your IQ is below normal intelligence. No, I know they're silly and goofy. I just think Jim Varney's very talented. For example, the scene where he's showing the kids how to sharpen a knife, and you run it briskly down the stone, and through the meat of the hand. And I just loved his physical humor, how he reacted to certain things, the way he delivered his dialogue. It was fun to watch him, and the goofy shenanigans that went up with him. I think a lot of people felt the same way, which is why his films, the rest of it is not grade A material. He's the star of the film. He's the reason people watch, and he's the reason people did continue to follow him throughout the subsequent films. Whether it be a turtle biting his nose, or there's a campfire and they're telling the story about the blade, the stone, and the arrow, and how someone just stood there and it missed all of them and it showed courage. And then Ernest goes, like our culture, like paper, rock, scissors. It's not the line that's funny, it's how excited he says it and then realizes he fucked up. Oh, another guy, Lyle Alzado, who he's been in a couple stuff. He was in this horror film called Destroyer. Give me a B. Give me a B. He was the killer in that. He's in this as a guy who beats up Ernest. You do get a montage when Ernest and the kids are building stuff. I didn't mind the song. I forget the name of the song, but I didn't mind that. You know, they defeat the villains. They save the day. And it's one of those movies that I don't know if a kid today would care about a film like Ernest. Because hey, I'm not a kid. I don't know what kids like and dislike nowadays. I really don't. All I can say is, while I wouldn't say the other characters really got much feel out of me of humor or excitement or fun, at least Ernest Steers Stupid, oh wow, it's like a horror film, and the trolls is from the guys who did Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I love the effects. Or Ernest Saves Christmas, oh, you had the entertaining action of him going crazy with the reindeer, the sled, and you had some practical effects on the reindeer. Like, there's other stuff I can marvel at. Here, it's mainly fixated on Jim Varney himself. And that was enough for me. I guess to put it, that was enough for me. And I thought, yeah, some of his jokes and humor was entertaining, and I just miss Jim Varney. I really do, man. I miss him. I wish he was still here. I wish they had sat him down to talk about the films. That would have been nice. Or you know what? Get all these films together in a Blu-ray set. I know some of them are on Blu-ray, some of them are not. But I mean, what can I say? I think it's a fun film. It's a flawed film. The misfits, the delinquents, they're pretty much dicks. I mean, they're supposed to be dicks until a good chunk into the movie, then they're not dicks. I wouldn't say I got much personality out of the kids. I could really sit here and tell you each of the kids what was unique about them. So maybe if they had done a little bit more of that. But I would say even the kids in, say, Major Payne, which is another comedy I enjoy, you learn a little bit more differentiation between the kids. At least a little bit more. Not a ton, but a little bit more. Like maybe a little bit work on that would have been nice. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm just fumbling around here. I still enjoy the film for what it is. As a flawed film, sure, but it's not my favorite Ernest film, but it was nice to rewatch again. And I would definitely want to rewatch the other Ernest films sometimes. Rest in peace, Mr. Jim Varney. Thank you for the laughs and the chuckles, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.